Hello and welcome to another episode of PATINS Live TV. This is episode 34, and we have today our vendor presentation, our featured presentation, and I have with me my guest Jim Sullivan. He's with Texthelp, and he's going to walk us through some of the software that they have at Texthelp. And tell me a little bit about Texthelp.
Sure. So Texthelp was founded in about 1996 and has developed technology for individuals with learning disabilities and individuals who speak English as a second language for about 15 or 16 years. We're based in Northern Ireland with offices here in Woburn, and we've got a staff of about 30 folks here in the United States selling and supporting Read&Write Gold and other tools that we work with.
Oh, good, good. So some of those tools, you mentioned Read&Write Gold. How many other tools are there?
Sure. So we work with three different platforms. One is technology for computers, the Mac and the PC, and that's Read&Write Gold. It's our flagship product, and it's been around since 1996. We also develop a tool for the iPad called ReadWrite, and then we also have just recently started developing a tool for the cloud and for Google specifically called Read&Write for Google.
Very good, very good. So we can have an example maybe of how Read&Write Gold works with students, and what kind of students utilize that type of technology?
Sure. So you'll find our products used in K-12, in higher education, and then in the workplace. Specifically here in Indiana, schools like Indiana University Southeast, Purdue, and Ivy Tech make access to it. And an example of how a student might use Read&Write Gold if they need to access a web-based application, for instance, like Study Island, Read&Write Gold will sit over top of their web browser, read the information out loud, and allow the students to be able to highlight, look up definitions of words, etc.
Very good, very good. So can we have an example of Read&Write Gold?
Yep, exactly. All right, let me minimize, and we'll bring up a web page. Actually, let's bring up a Microsoft Word document. And I'll launch Read&Write Gold. So Read&Write Gold, again, is a toolbar that sits at the top of a student's Windows or Mac operating system. And the toolbar is actually customizable, Jeff. So you're looking at the toolbar here. I can detach it. I can move it around. And here are tools the student might use when they're accessing this Rosa Parks test. So I've got word prediction, read aloud support, and highlighting. And if I wanted to, I could come into the general options, for instance, and if a dictionary tool was an allowable accommodation for the student, I can access it. So the toolbar is totally customizable, and then the student can come down into the document, and then they can press the play button.
Rosa Parks was born February 4th. 1913 in Tuskegee.
So we've got highlighting as well as the.
That's right. Yep. So we can
voice.
we can do dual highlighting with the synthetic speech to help the students with being able to comprehend. So whether it's identifying a word and having it read out loud, whether it's reading to comprehend, those text-to-speech tools are there to support the student. So as the student comes down through in this particular instance, why did Rosa Parks, or what did Rosa Parks refuse to do, for instance? They could use their highlighter to select and then highlight the correct answer and then move on to the next question. So those highlighting tools are built into the program. If we wanted to do something like an extended response, so if I come down here, how did Rosa Parks help to shape the civil rights movement of the 1960s and 70s? I've put a tool in here called Voice Note, and what Read&Write will let the student do is record their extended response and then insert that extended response right into the Microsoft Word document so a teacher can come back and play back what it is that they've done.
Oh, okay, very good. So there's really flexibility then in the program for students that really need to have just other accommodations.
Yep, that's exactly right. So you've got writing tools, you've got reading tools, organizational tools, and then research tools that are built into it. And again, because we can customize the toolbar, and because where we work, where the student wants to work, then it applies to students, again, in that K-12 setting, that higher education setting, and also in the workplace. I got a call last week from a student who had used the program both in high school and college, working successfully for a computer consulting company, using Read&Write Gold for email and to review proposals they were putting together. So
very good. Good.
Goes beyond.
So you have it for the Windows platform, you have it for the Mac platform, but if I have it on it, I have to carry my laptop or my desktop. I have to be somewhere, to have that access. Is there any way to have it put on other devices?
Yep, so we can allow students to be able to install directly onto the computer, or we have a mobile version of the program as well that will run directly from a USB thumb drive. So they can put it into a computer at school, remove the thumb drive, take it home, put it into a home computer, and then just run the software directly from the thumb drive itself.
Well, that makes it pretty handy then. So is there enough storage space that I could actually have some of my documents so I don't have to have another thumb drive? Is it?
Yep, you certainly can. Yep, so one thumb drive can serve both purposes, absolutely.
Good. That's really neat, I like that. What else do we have?
All right, well, let's look at one more piece with
Okay.
Read and Write Gold, and then we'll move on. So we talked about customizable toolbars, right? And so I'm going to change my toolbar view to bring up my reading toolbar. And here's a web page where maybe a student is doing some research on Rosa Parks. So the student can use the tool here to highlight an idea about Rosa. So she was born in Tuskegee, Alabama, and she, at the age of 2, resided here. So I can select these ideas, I can hit this Collect Highlights button, and what I can do is I can actually pull that information then into a Microsoft Word document. And what it'll do is it'll bring along some bibliography information as well.
Very nice. Yeah, that does, it's nice study skills. Really,
Absolutely.
really built in and accessible.
Yep.
Very
All
good. One thing with the web, does it have any issues with reading anything on the web, or is it pretty much?
No, it does an outstanding job of reading information on the web. The nice thing about Read and Write Gold is it will work in the Mozilla Firefox, the Internet Explorer, Chrome, and Safari web browsers. And then what the students are able to do is they're able to select text that they want read and press play. They can hover over information that they would like to have read, and then if the text is actually inaccessible, so if it is an image, like something that might be inserted in Flash, we have a screenshot reading tool that will allow the students to be able to draw over what they would like read. We'll snap a picture of it and it'll read the information back to them. So really then any content that is available, be it in HTML or picture format, can be accessed with Read and Write Gold.
So you can actually do that with a PDF then? Scan over the top of it, click it, and it'll read a PDF?
It'll do that, but we, in addition to that function, there is a tool called PDF Aloud that comes along with Read and Write Gold that will make accessible PDF documents available with dual highlighting with synthetic speech as well.
Wow, very good, very good. Sounds like a really good program. What else do we have?
All right, well, let's take a look at Read and Write for Google. So let me minimize this. So we know that Google is taking storm here in the United States and districts across the country. It's free. The collaboration parts of it are incredible, and we're seeing more and more districts adopting Google Apps for education. And one of the things that they're doing along with adopting Google Apps for education is adopting Chromebooks. Chromebooks are inexpensive. They allow students to be able to work independently. They're being brought on board to address the assessments that are going to be coming down the road. But we also know that adaptive technology, as we know it, software will not run on a Chromebook. So what Read and Write for Google will allow a school district to be able to do is bring their adaptive technology into the cloud and provide students with read aloud, word prediction, study skills, and other tools.
Wow, very good. That, you know, we are hearing more and more about Chromebook here in Indiana, as well as Google Docs and so forth. So, I mean, it sounds like a nice marriage when you can have that type of technology with something that's so common at this point. So, really good.
So, should we take a look?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So here is a Google document that was shared. The title is George Washington, and what I'm able to do is click within the Google Doc, and here is my Read and Write for Google toolbar for Google Docs. If I click here and then come up here and press play, here's my dual highlighting with my synchronous synthetic speech to help with the comprehension pieces.
George had an older brother named Lawrence.
Students do have the ability to be able to come in and adjust the voice So we've got a number of voices that we can specifically choose from. We can adjust the reading speed and the rate, so there's some customizability there. And then as they're reading through the information, if they come across a word that they don't know the meaning of, they can double click on the word and have the word brought up and have it read aloud or get a picture of it. So for instance, if I double click on the word landowner and then I press the picture dictionary, it will search for a picture of landowner. So if you've got a student who speaks English as a second language or a student who has a limited vocabulary, this tool can help them comprehend what's in the content itself.
And now, where would we find this particular app then?
So you can go to the Chrome store specifically. A couple of facts about it. Read and Write for Google only works in the Chrome web browser. Okay. All right? So you can't use it in Internet Explorer, or you couldn't use it in Safari, so you need to be in the Chrome web browser. So with the Chrome web browser set up, you can simply go to the Chrome store and then do a search for Texthelp, Texthelp, and they can load that particular app into their Chrome browser and trial it free for 30 days.
Oh, good. So that would really give people an opportunity to at least see how it works, how it operates, and whether or not a student can really benefit from it.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, we have some fantastic videos that are available on all of the products, Read and Write Gold and Read and Write Google specifically, that go into some of the different pieces. So Read and Write for Google is accessed in a Google Doc. It's accessed in browsing, in Chrome, and then there's also some PDF access. So if I click on this web page right here, Read and Write for Google is this little tool that's sitting up in the address bar. When I click on it, it will activate this little toolbar here, and then when I come and hover my mouse over what I want read, it will bring that information to life.
Wow, very good.
All right. And then Read and Write for Google is also access to PDF documents as well. So I can get read aloud support, I can get my reference tools, I can get my highlighting, but then I also have an annotation tool that lets me click in and add information like my name. All right, so I can check that. So a student, again, oftentimes we see read aloud accommodations, extended time for test, use of a keyboard as an accommodation on an IEP. So there are many tools in all of these products that will support that and then prepare kids for what's coming down the road in terms of assessments and accessibility to assessments.
Very good, very good. Well, as we wind down, do you have any other things for us to see?
Well, the last thing we can talk about is ReadWrite for the iPad. It's a $20 app that you can get in the iTunes store. It provides read aloud support, word prediction, and a picture dictionary tool for the iPad. If you buy them in groups of 20, they are $9.90 a piece. So
that's a good price. And our featured vendor presentation component, do you have any specials that you're offering?
Yeah, so whoops, little PowerPoint snafu there. So let me bring up the screen and go from the current slide. All right, so if you buy 5 copies of Read and Write Gold IEP edition at $295 a piece, you can get a 6th copy of Read and Write Gold IEP edition for free.
Wow, very good. Very good. Well, Jim, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And
great to be here. This was fun.
Information and so forth. I do want to remind people that April 17th, we're having our Technology Expo or Tech Expo, and we will have vendors like Jim attending, and you could see firsthand, the products and so forth. That 30-day trial would be really helpful prior to that, and you can answer some questions and so forth. And that's April 17th. It's going to be at the Fountains in Carmel. We hope to see you there. There's no cost. We do ask that you register, so that we do have a running tally of the number of people that are going to be there. Parking's free, lunch is free, so if you can take advantage of that, I'm sure the vendors would appreciate any time and effort that you could come down, especially the students that we serve in Indiana. It's really for their benefit. So, given that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Jim, thank you again for your time.
Great to
appreciate
be
it. And please check out our website, patinsproject.com. We have more information on our upcoming vendors and also videos from the live TV that's been streamed and it will be captioned. And so we have all that available. Right now, this is episode 34, and we'll work on episode 35 in 2 weeks.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you. Have a good day.